The Italian government, in collaboration with the local agencies, is deployed to rescue to mobilize aid to assist those facing to deep consequences to this natural disaster. The national unity is solidarity pledging support to help the affected communities recovery and rebuilding the aftermath of this devastating flooding in Hampstead. Italy finds itself grappling with the devastation aftermath of dual national disaster as torrential flood and forest hailstorm wreaked havoc across several regions. Picture square landscape have transformed into a scene of chaos and destruction as homes submerged and farmlands plummeted by ice. It one can only describe the cruel twist on the fate. Communities from the northern Alps to the southern Mediterranean coastal line have broken the burst of this catastrophic event. Rivers flowing by relentless downpour burst their banks in inundated towns and villages in their paths. Streets that once bursted with the life now resemble temporary rivers forced residents to flee high ground. Adding their misery, the relentless hailstorm stuck with the unfluid force, turning streets into ice river and blanket field and the chilly light of ice. The economic impact of the natural disaster through the year to the fully Queenfield is expected to be significant. As the storm passes, the relentlessness of the Sicilian people shone through. Communities band together, aid the cleanup efforts to provide support to those hardest hit. Social media was abuzed with the emergencies, with the messages of solidarity and offered to assistance, showcasing the indomitable spirit of the island's inhabitants. Meteorologists have attributed the severity of the storm and combination of climate factors, emphasizing the increasing unpredictability of the weather patterns. This event severe stark reminder of the challenges faced by climate change, underlining the urgent need for sustainable environmental policies. The Italian government response to the crisis pledged full support to the recovery force. Prime Minister, in a statement, assured the allocation for reps and resources to aid affected areas. Moreover, he emphasized the importance to bolstering Italy's infrastructure with a stance to such extreme weather events in the future. As Sicily embarks on its journey to recovery, the already has sparked to national conversation on disaster preparedness and climate resilience. The storm, while untested island fortitude, had also been a catalyst for unity and reflection of the importance to collective action to the face of environmental challenges. In a shocking turn of events, the picturesque town of Trocchesimo in the province of Udine, Italy, was recently basined in the relentless onslaught of natural fury. A torrential flood accompanied by fire and hailstorm wreaking havoc on tranquil streets, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. Residents of Trocchesimo found themselves grappling with the double whammy as flood water surged through the cobbled alleys, inundated homes and businesses alike. The relentless rain driven by gears force winds transforming in town once peaceful ambience in one of chaos and despair. As emergency sirens roaring through the water-loaded streets, local authorities will mobilize rescue operations ensure the safety of residents stranded by deluge. The community related together, offering assistance to those affected by extended a helping hand of the vulnerable. Images captured the surreal scene of hailstorm, some at slides of a golf ball plumping the town rooftops and vehicles, leaving a trail of destruction from silence of a scene from disaster movie. The aftermath related shade-root windows, dented vehicles and beetroot vegetation testifying of forest and a hailstorm. Germany fired itself in those nature fury as Storm Gustav swoops relentlessly across the country, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. But the wind's hurled speeds reached up to 100 km per hour, and the rainfall intensified. Authorities have issued widespread warning urging citizens to take immediate precaution. The northern region of Germany burned both of Gustav initial Oslo and the coastal areas, experienced fire winds and pounding waves. Hamburg, a city accustomed by maritime weather, faced inundation from the storm surge, prompting authorities to close food barriers and deploy the emergency response team to blossom Daphnis. As Gustav burst eastward, it impacted it across the major urban centers such as Berlin and Munich. The iconic landmarks of the capital city tremble under to onslaught and relentless gusts, where cities become rivers as rain pours down, adapted. In the Munich, Bavaria, bustling metropolis residents handle indoor as tourists way previously outside debris litter in the streets. Transportation networks agrees on the half of the storm fury disrupted air, rail, and road travel. Airports scrambling the dirty flights and ground planes altogether, while railway operations struggled to mountain service amidst the fallen trees and debris on the tracks. Highway resembled obstacle caused the driver navigate treacherous conditions, with authority urged extreme cautions to advise against unnecessary travel. In the rural areas, farmers raced against time to secure livestock and safeguard crops on the onslaught and the wind and the rain. The agriculture hinterland of Germany faced dual threat to crop damage and potential flooding, and the worsened nature mentioned already relating from the impact of the storm. Emergency service working tirelessly to respond incident, reducing standing motorists clearing debris from the roads, and ensured the safety of the vulnerability communities. Shelters are opening by providing refuge and those displaced by the storm, offering the warmth and respite from the relentless onslaught of nature war. Amidst the chaos, resilience of German people shine through. Neighbors band together to help one another weather the storm. With the memories of the past calamities fresh in their minds, communities enter the solidarity, demonstrating their strength and spirit that defines Germany resolve in the face of adversity. As Gustav Fury begins to wear in the skies gradually clear, Germany emerged better than and both ready to rebuild. Europe finds itself in the grip of tempestuous battle with the nature war that powerful storms swept across the continent, leaving a trail of chaos and destruction in the way. From the wide-swept coast in the Ireland of the snow-blanket streets of Scandinavia, millions are grappling with the ferocious of elements. In Ireland, where coastal communities are accustomed by the burst of Atlantic gales, the storm surge has battered short lines and swept waves crashing against the seawalls. Authorities have issued warning urged residents to remain indoors in case of winds whose speed exceeded 100 km per hour. Through to approach the tourism damaged infrastructure. Meanwhile, in the United Kingdom, transport network have ground the health of the storm and left the fury. Flights have been cancelled, trains delayed, and roads rendered treacherous by falling debris. Emergency services are working tirelessly to clear roads and restore service, but the sheer force of the storm presents a formidable challenge. Across the English Channel, mainland Europe is not spread from the tempest rage. In France, torrential rain has triggered flooding in low-lying areas, forcing residents to evacuate their homes. The iconic Iliad Tower stands sturdily amidst the tumult, a symbol of resilience of the face of adversity. In the German where the winter chill still liner heavy snowfall exact but the chaos disrupting both the urban and rural life. Schools are closed, businesses shattered, and public transportation paralyzed as the country grappled with the dual onslaught of the storm wind. For the east in Scandinavia, the stormy Arctic grip, twin-layer of blizzard combination swept across the landslide. Norway, Sweden, and Finland are blacking in the snow with the visibility reduced in northern some areas, despite their reputation of resilience in the harsh winter. Germany is in high alert as a powerful storm system swept across the nation, bringing with a violent wind, torrential rain, and through it widespread disruption. The German Meteorological Service has issued severe weather warning for the vast stretch of the countries, urged residents to take precautions and remain vigilant. The storm dubbed Gustav by meteorologists is expected to make landfall in the northern Germany before rapidly moving eastward and doubling major cities such as Hamburg, Berlin, and Munich in part. With a gust of 100 km per hour are forecast posing significant risk to property and public safety. Authorities have cautioned against unnecessary travel and advised residents to secure loose objects outdoors, such as furniture and signage, to prevent them from becoming hazardous, projecting strong winds. Additionally, residents in low-lying areas are being urged to prepare to possible flooding in a heavy rainfall could lead to overflowing rivers and localized inundation. Transportation networks are likely to be severely impacted, with a disruption expected across and the travel. Airlines have already begun preemptive cancellation and delays with the train service operation are reduced schedules in anticipation of adverse weather conditions. Drivers are being urged to exercise extreme cautions, particularly on the highway and routes where crosswind is especially dangerous. Emergency services are on standby by response to incidents that may arise as a result of the storm, with the extra personnel deployed to high-risk areas to ensure the swift coordinated response. Local authorities have set up emergency shelters to those displaced by the storm are working closely to community organizations to provide support to vulnerable population. The German government has urged citizens to need the advice of authorities and stay informed throughout the official channels updates to involved situation. With the memories still fresh to the past storm have worked here across the country, including the devastation Xavier in 2017. Germans are talking in the threat to Gustav series and embracing themselves for the what could long and challenging night ahead. The townspeople known for their resilience in mundane amendment on the order, test, and cleanup and recovery, with the unity as they driving force by clean up debris, pumped out flood waters, and become prepared to shatter it remind of their once come town. Through the extent of the damage remains substantial, the intimational spirits track a smooth clouds. The town embarks a long road to restoration, providing that even in the face of natural fury, the human spirit remain unbroken. In a devastation turn of when Italy found under the grip of nature fury as the torrential wind triggered widespread flooding and relentless hailstorm strikes various regions. With the river burst, the banks and low-lying areas submerged rescue operations are underway to aid stranded communities. Pictures blue town and farmlands in northern Italy bear boast on the hailstorm, leaving behind a trail of destruction as crops are ravaged as properties severely damaged. The unrelenting onslaught has left residents shaking to seeking refuge from the ferocity of the elements. Emergency service and disaster response team are working tirelessly to evacuate residents and provide such immediate relief to affected areas. Authorities are urging citizens to exercise extreme cautions to stay indoors to ensure their safety amidst the ongoing natural calamity. A severe hailstorm hit the region of Veneto, Italy, caused extensive damage and caught residents by surprise. The hailstorm, as big as a golf ball, pounded the area relentlessly over the hour, resulting in shattered windows, ruined crops, and dented vehicles. In the aftermath of the tempest, the authorities are evacuating the extent of the devastation, offering assistance in the affected communities. Emergency service promptly responded to the crisis, but the damage was so widespread that local authorities struggled to keep up. Residents faced difficulty in reaching safety. For farmers, suffered significant losers, with the vineyard and orange devastation by the storm. Despite the challenges of the people of Veneto demonstrated their resilience of coming together to support one another. The weather station of Ileta recorded a widespread of up to 110 km/h. Meteorological Service reported that the level of the Seine rose by 35 cm due to heavy rain. Meteo France has warning of increasing winds and heavy rainfall in the southwest as well as a seasonal of the meso-central sphere and crossed the country from the southwest to the northeast. Torrential rain have left perish following the recent heat wave in France that flooded metro station in the French capital. Transportation network have been alerted with a similar flight cancellation and delayed reported to Charles and Co. Airport. Republic Transportation Service have also been particularly affected, as the bus and train schedules have been modified and ensure passenger safety amidst the tumultuous weather conditions. Another residents of French capital filmed motorists driving through the deep water, ironically saying the Paris is beautiful because you can ever go water skiing here. Paris, France, in a stunning touring event, the city of London found itself under the grip of imminent storms set to unleash a fury upon on the capital. The meteorological department has issued a severe weather alert, cautioning residents to visitors alike prepare to tumultuous conditions. With the darkening sky and ominous cloud gathering above the iconic landmarks, including the Elef Tower and the Notre Dame Cathedral, the bustling streets in the Paris are found the crowd with the occupation with a sting of urgency. Local authorities have urged citizens to execute cautions to stay indoors and the storm intensify escalates. Weather forecasts predict that the tempests of bring heavy rain accompanied by the foreign gust of wind poison a significant threat to the city infrastructure and public safety. The potential for flash floods and power outage has risen concerns about the amount of officials who have implemented precautionary measures to minimize the impact. The Bavarian state government has declared a state of emergency in the affected areas, and the emergency service have been working to clear roads and assess the damage. Many roads have been blocked by debris, making it difficult for emergency service to reach those in need. In Bavaria, Germany, a violent hailstorm has caused extensive damage to homes, cars, and crops. The storm started on Tuesday afternoon and lasted several hours, unleashing large hailstorms that pelted the region. Basements were flooded, trees were downed on public roads, and police reported several traffic incidents involving hydroplaning. Firefighters reported that rainwater was following from fields and knee down in the streets, houses, and basements. German authorities have issued new weather warning after the storms in Central and Southern Europe. Germany finds itself in the grip of South Gustav, the tempest unprecedented magnitude that swept across the nation, leaving destruction and the chaos in the way. From the northern coastal regions to the picturesque landscape on the South Gustav relentless to the test of resolve and resilience of the German people. In the Hamburg, Europe's second large port city, in the storm are unleashed in the water of resilience force. High winds whipped through the streets, caused havoc and disruption when torrential rain transformed roads into rivers. The city's flood descended put at the test and authority worked tirelessly to protect vulnerability areas from the inundation. As Gustav swept inland, Berlin bears in the brunt the fury of iconic landmarks such as the Brandenburg Gate to Berlin Wall, standing the silent witness of nature's awesome power. Streets are deserted as the residents seek shelter from the storm, while emergency service come ready to respond to calls to assistance. In the rural Bavaria, communities rallied together in the face of adversity, offering support to solidarity to those in need, and the farmers worked tirelessly to secure livestock to protect crops and some storm stopped, while villagers come together to clear debris to ensure the safety of their homes. Transportation networks, great and halt of Gustav Fury disrupted rail and road travel across the country. Flights are grounded, trained and deployed to have it become impossible to follow trees and debris block vital roads. Yet amidst the chaos, emergency work tirelessly to keep essential service running to ensure the safety of the public. As Gustav finally begins to reset, Germany emergency battery to unburden limited determination to rebuild and recover. Communities come together to assess the damage, offering support to assistance to those in need. The spirit of resilience burst bright across the nation, reminding the work of Germany, strength and determination in the face of adversity. Strong winds caused wildfires in Spain and falling water level revealed dangers to issuing the new. Germany's weather service warning of heavy rain in the south of the country after severe storm killed at least 20 people elsewhere in Europe. Local authorities have reported widespread damage, particularly in the areas of Upper Bavaria and Lower Bavaria. Many homes have in their roofs and windows smashed, leaving residents at deal with the aftermath. Some farmers have also reported severe damage in their crops, where they could have a significant impact on local economy. The hailstones has caused significant disruption to the region, and many residents are still struggling to come in terms with the damage caused. The true cost and disaster is yet to fully assess. The clear in the affected storms will be felt in some time to come, and recover from the heat of brought by nature indiscriminated fury. Yet this course of the storm severe stock reminding of the fragility of human experience and the face of Mother Nature always some power. Germany stands firm against the relentless onslaught of Storm Gustav, and the nation grapples with the most ferocious weather events in the recent memory. From the best cities to serene countryside, Gustav walked north to bone, testing the resilience and preparedness of the German people. In the Hamburg, the iconic port city, residents brace themselves to towering wave crash against the sea walls through it to beach defense. The city educate network conflude barriers and put in the test, while emergency responses work tirelessly to ensure the safety of coastal communities. As the storm's epicenter shift eastward, Berlin, Indonesian capital, find itself engulfed in the metropolis of wind and rain. Streets one boosting activity now lie deserted, and residents need warning to seek shelters indoor. Iconic landmarks from the Brandenburg Gate to the Reichstag bear witness nature of some power. They gender juxtapose against the raw force of the elements. In the Bavaria, Germany, pictures where southwestern region rural communities face their own battle against the Gustav onslaught. Farmers toil tirelessly to serve livestock and safeguard crops, while vigilant rally together to support one another in the face of adversity. Across the countryside and landscape transformed into patchwork of resilience, while solidarity and determination severely battled against the storm. Transportation networks burst at the situation under the strain of Gustav Fury, with the airports, railway, and the highway all experience disruption. Flights are grounded, trains are delayed, and the roads become treacherous and fallen trees and debris through the landscape. Yet amidst the chaos, emergency service walk tirelessly to keep water lifeline open to ensure the safety of those in need. As nightfall and Gustav Fury bear in Germany emergency battle, the engulfed communities come together to assess the damage, clear debris, begin the long process to rebuilding. From the bustling cities to north of tranquil villages on the southern spirit resilience bursts the bright, reminded the worst of Germany's underworld resolve in the face of nature's foreign challenges. The Italian Civil Protection Department has been monitoring the situation closely and urged residents to remain vigilant. Sicily is no stranger to extreme weather conditions, but its storms have been particularly severe. Sicily, Italy was hit by a foreign storm that caused widespread damage and destruction to the island. The storm, which lasted for several hours, brought heavy rain and strong winds, uprooted trees and damaged buildings. Many roads and highways were closed due to flooding and landslides, causing significant traffic disruption. Several flights to and from the island were also cancelled or delayed, leaving many travelers stranded. Local authorities issued several warning urged residents to stay indoors and avoid travel unless absolutely necessary. Several school and public offices were closed due to the storm. The storm also caused power outage in some areas, leaving thousands of homes without electricity. Emergency services were working around the clock to restore power and clear debris to affected areas. The ammonia sound of hailstone pounded over rooftops and cars and chilled through the affected areas, leaving a trail of shattered windows and danger to hackers in its wake. Local authorities have been working tirelessly to provide aid to support those affected by the scare and the disaster and scattered rescue team. Emergency shelters have been set up to offer refuge to displaced families, while search and rescue teams navigate treacherous conditions to locate those with miles stranded or trapped. Italy's historic agriculture and a cultural hierarchy have also fallen victims in the dual onslaught. The impact of the city infrastructure has been severe, with the reports collapsing bridges and damaged roads and hydrogen rescue force. The metro network, a lifeline for many communities, came to gripping half of the tunnels become submerged, great compounding the chaos. In a shocking turn of events, Barcelona, Spain, finds itself grappling with a catastrophic flood, leaving the city and its residents in the state of turmoil. Torrential rain unprecedented in the intensify unleashed havoc in the region, overwhelming grading system and triggering widespread inundation. As streets are forming in the region, rivers emergency service will be mobilized to aid those affected by the calamity. Brave first response and launching rescue missions waiting through the West Deep Water to reach stranded individuals and families trapped in their homes. Helicopters wait above, plucking people to rooftops, and floodwaters continue to rise. As the day progressed, images in submerged cars uploaded, tracing the breeze strewn streets circulated on social media, painted a grim picture of widespread destruction. Residents clad in the rain-soaked clothes and were seen banding together to other assistance, displaying admirable resilience in the face of adversity. The floodwaters have also taken to toll Barcelona's circular culture heritage and icon landmarks, including a former Sagrada Familia and historic buildings, are witnessing water-separated structure damage. In the heat of Europe, Hamburg, Germany's second-largest city, is facing an unprecedented environmental crisis. The city, known for its rich history and vibrant culture, has recently been in the forefront of the catastrophic flood, highlighting the severe impact of the climate change. In the early hour of the morning, the residents of Hamburg woke up to a city submerged underwater. The Elbe River, which has been a lifeline of the city of centuries, transformed into a source of devastation as it burst their banks. This sudden flood has not only disrupted the daily life of the citizens, but also serious questions about the city preparedness for such natural disaster. Emergency services have been working tirelessly to rescue those trapped in their homes and provide relief to affected areas. Temporary shelters have been set up across the city to accommodate those displaced by the floods. However, the task is monumental, but the city resources are scattered thin. The impact of economy is clearly devastating. Hamburg, a major port city, has seen maritime activities for height affected by not only the local economy, but also having ripple effect across Europe. The flood in Hamburg can start reminding of a real times of climate change. Experts have warned that such extreme weather events are likely to become more frequent and intense due to global warming. This disaster has put a spotlight on the need for cities to adapt and build resilience against such climate-related challenges. Germany found itself on the front lines in a fire battle against the relentless force of nature's storm Costel, unleashing further across the nation. From the northern shores to southern plains on the continent, the country is spared from the water and the powerful tempests. The coastal areas such in Hamburg and Bremen and Halle wind will up towering when they crashed against the seawalls, torturing to boost defense and inundate low-lying areas. Residents huddle indoors, breaking themselves from the author, while the emergency responses stand to ready to spirit in the action and their moments notice. As Gustav Berger's inland urban centers like Berlin and Frankfurt become battleground against the element, in the rural communities, farmers and villagers mobilized to protect their livelihood in the name of Gustav onslaught. Fields are flooded and groups are battered by the relentless rain bonds on the threat to food security and the economic stability. Yet, amidst the chaos, the resilience of the German people shine through. Neighbors come together to lend helping hand in the face of adversity. Transportation network, grid and health and train are delayed, flights are cancelled, and highways become impossible. Travelers are stranded, unable to reach their destination, as Gustav wreaked havoc on the infrastructure across the country. Yet, despite the disruption, emergency service worked tirelessly to keep vital lifeline open. They ensured the safety to those in need. Continuing the coverage, the storm intensity wind attention turns and the aftermath of extensive damage facing the wake. Across the Europe, images uploaded tourist damaged buildings and flooded streets painting a vivid picture of storm's impact. Emergency services are working tirelessly to assess the damage and provide assistance to those in need. In Ireland, where coastal communities and the boats of the storm surge, residents' emergency severe breakage left behind. Finished boats lined in battery to one shore, where coastal defense tested on their limit. The resilience of these communities is evident. Can come together to begin to outdoor task of cleaning up and rebuilding. In the United Kingdom, while transportation neutral ground and held during the funeral of the storm, efforts underway to restore service and reopen King Road. Volunteers are clearing from the rail tracks, airport resume operation, and highway are gradually reopening to traffic. The resilience of the British people shine through as they adapt to the challenges posed by the storm and work toward normality. In the France, where flooding wreaked havoc in low-lying area, residents are grappling with the aftermath of the inundated homes and submerged streets. The cleanup efforts are underway as emergency service deployed the prompts and dry floodwaters and residents pitched in village below. Despite the disruption, spirit of solidarity provides the communities come together to support one another in the wake of disaster. In Munich, the storm caused chaos on the street and motorists struggled to navigate throughout the hail-covered roads. Emergency services were called to several incidents, including a car incident on the AA motorway. Local authorities have urged residents to avoid unnecessary travel and to stay indoors where possible. And the fire in hailstorm has battered parts of Germany, causing widespread damage and destruction. The storm was stuck on Saturday afternoon, dumping the large hailstone the city, including Munich and Stuttgart. Living cars dented the windows, smashed. Some areas reported hailstone as large as a tennis ball. The storm also caused damage to buildings, with the reports of roof being ripped off and window shattered. In the town of Sicily, firefighters were called to rescue men who had become trapped in their car and found debris. Meteorologists have warned that the storm could be one of the way. There is a high travel lighting in some parts of the country. The German Weather Service has issued warning for several regions, including Bavaria and Baden-Württemberg, and advised people to take precautions. A powerful storm swept across Bavaria, Germany, caused widespread destruction and chaos. The storm, characterized by intense wind and heavy rainfall, left a trail of destruction throughout the region. The storm approached meteorologists, warning of the potential impact, urged residents to take necessary precautions. The Bavarian government activated emergency service, preparing the worst-case scenario. Schools were closed and public transport was significantly disrupted as a safety issue. The storm's arrival was met against winds that approached trees, damaged buildings and disrupted power lines. In several towns, roofs were torn off houses and streets were littered and debris. The fierce winds, reaching speeds of over 100 km/h, passed a severe threat to resident safety. Heavy rainfall accompanied the winds, leaving flash floods in low-lying areas. Rivers and streams overflowed, inundated streets and homes. Emergency services working tirelessly to rescue people trapped in their homes to provide temporary shelters for those displaced by the flooding. The agriculture sector suffered significant losses, with many farms reported damaged crops and infrastructure. The storm also impacted wildfire, with the reports on habitats behind destroying animals being displaced. Throughout the ordeal, and the resilience of Bavarian people was evident. Communities came together to support each other, and volunteers helping to clean up efforts and provided aid to those in need. The government pledged financial assistance to those affected by the promise to review its disaster management plans to better prepare for future storms. As Bavaria begins to recover, the storm serves as a reminder of increasing frequency and intensity of extreme weather events likely linked to climate change. Experts call for more robust measures to mitigate the impact of such events and for greater investment in sustainable practices to protect the environment. In the early hour of January, Sicily, Italy autonomous region found itself in the market of a formidable storm, with a wind reaching speed of over 100 km/h, and the related heavy rain and storm left a trail of destruction in its wake. Residents of Sicily waked to a scene of chaos, uprooted trees, flooded streets, and damaged infrastructure. The storm intensity was such that it impeded daily life, closed schools, disrupted transport, and leaving thousands without power. The emergency service working tirelessly to restore order, prioritizing the safety to those affected areas. The island's capital, Palermo, bore the birth of the storm. Historic buildings, referred to their architectural beauty, suffered damage, while the city narrow cobbled streets turned into fast-flowing rivers. Inland town and coastal village alike faced similar devastation, with the local authority declared a state of emergency in several regions. Agriculture, a cornerstone of Sicily's economy, was not spared. Farmers severed their land and heavy herds of the storm-ravaged crops and appended years of hard work. Massive floods have wreaked havoc in historic district of Jordan in Paris, France, following heavy rainfall on past few days. In a picturesque neighborhood known as the charming canals and quarrying bridge have been transformed into waterlogged maze. The river Seine burst its banks up major streets, shops and homes as a torrential osmotic water surged through the sea. Local residents were cut off guard by a sudden deluge, with the many forced and evacuate their property and flood waters rapidly rose. Emergency service and volunteers have been working tirelessly to rescue stranded individuals to provide shelters to those affected. The authorities have issued a red alert urged residents to remain vigilant and prioritize their safety. The flood had caused significant disruption in the daily life in Jordan. Public transportation service have been severely affected, with the several bus routes suspended and metro stations closed due to water damage. Businesses in area, including restaurants and boat quays, have been forced to close their drops, temporarily adding to the economic strain caused by ongoing pandemic. The city government has mobilized a rescue to manage this crisis. Homes and cars in an Irish village have been severely damaged after a possible tornado hit the area. Emergency services were called to the village of Lithuania on Sunday afternoon after strong winds felled trees, ripped the roofs of buildings and left debris strewn across the street. Meteorological with war said reports of tornadoes in the area were probably true or definitely involved thunderstorms with a very strong wind. She said the forecast relied on reports and video on social media to state sure whether wind was tornado. Down sky over the UK. UK weather. Rain to intensify due to 4 yellow warning from the Met Office. She added, in a thunderstorm, cold wind spread in direction can change and this resists on the cloud which causes rotation, and in the funnel-shaped cloud in an able stretch all the way to the ground, it causes a tornado. It could have been a strange gust of wind probably over the one other, but people say they saw rotation. They're not very predictable, they only last a couple minutes. A witness to the possible tornado said his dream was spotting the debris as they drove through the storm. Orange wind warning are on the Clare, Galway and Mayo counties, indication where a strong coastal wind combined with a high wave and tides. Storm Fergus, the second named storm of the weekend, has also brought yellow wind warning to countries Kerry, Limerick and Tipperary. The storm surge will lead to high seas, and along with the storm, there was potential for the coastal flooding along the parts of the west coast, particularly on a high tide. The UK Met Office has also issued several yellow weather warnings for parts of Scotland and Northern England, but no warning have been issued for Northern Ireland. Bureau of Meteorology Chief Meteorologist Andy Page said Storm Fergus will summarize a turbulent weather weekend for UK.